Welcome to TMZ Live. Huge Taylor Swift news, and not necessarily news that she's going to like, but the reality is this. The story that we and others were getting from Taylor's side about her lack of involvement in the Blake Lively-Justin Baldoni war is BS.
Yeah.
BS.
And that is spelled out in incredible detail, graphic detail in some cases, in text messages between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift in the middle of, really throughout this whole saga, while they were still working on the script, and then after, right before before Blake filed her lawsuit.
So we should explain. What we were told, there was a big showdown because Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni were feuding over which version of the script was better. He had one, she had one, and they were warring over this. They were at Blake's New York penthouse, and Ryan Reynolds was there too. And the story we had gotten was Taylor was invited over, had no idea Justin Baldoni was there, walked in, and was stunned that he was there, and all she said was, "Oh, I hear your movie's great," and that she felt ambushed by that, and that she felt betrayed by Blake Lively. Well, it turns out Taylor and Blake were thick as thieves when it came to...
So this is a text message from Blake to Taylor. This was in April of 2023. That's when this meeting was about to happen. Blake says, "If you get here with this doofus director of my movie is still here, I'll be ushering him out, but hope he's still here. Can you do me a huge favor? I need help with him. Can you tell him you're excited for the movie, that you read the book, but what you're freaking out over is the pages I sent you. What a magnetic scene that is." Or whatever descriptives you feel comfortable with. "I'll send you the scene. You don't have to read it, of course. It's a quick read. He's a clown, and he thinks he's a writer now, and got this rewrite and told me he appreciates my passion. That's it. So having the greatest living storyteller, you, Taylor, unknowingly echo to him how much you love what we're doing, give him credit as if he wrote them with me. It will go such a long way."
Okay, so does that align with Taylor saying, "I walked in and I had no idea Justin Baldoni was there"? Does that align? No. Absolutely
and in fact,
no.
Taylor wrote back after that message and said, "I'll do anything for you." Double exclamation mark. So that's not like, oh, it seems like she's excited to help her friend, right? And not, I got ambushed by something, I don't, like, no. So after the meeting, Blake is very excited about how this all went down, and she texts Taylor, "You were so epically heroic today. I recapped every moment to Ryan. I kept remembering stuff, you making blank up about me and lenses, and referring to yourself as my doll. This clown, falling for all of it, but also resisting it. You are the world's absolute greatest friend ever."
So that is Blake saying, "Did a good job, Taylor."
We fooled him.
So then the question is, does Taylor stay involved after this penthouse meeting? And there is a trailer that comes out for the movie, which is a bone of contention. So this is what Taylor Swift texts Blake, quote, "If Justin was strategic, he would no Taylor Swift in the trailer because her song was in there,
right,
because that gives you more power over the film. That's your ally, not his."
So that is what Taylor is saying to Blake about, she's dumbfounded at the fact that Justin has chosen to use a Taylor Swift song in the trailer.
Because she's so aligned with Blake that it's strategically bad for... So she's involved in the strategy of this.
And I gotta say, that's not the shock. Again, it's not shocking. We know at that point they were friends, and of course Taylor is gonna support her friend.
No, I disagree with you. Here's why it's shocking. That you could say the penthouse meeting was all this kind of spontaneous theater, but the trailer comes long after, and Taylor is still fully on board, and even talking to Blake about strategy, that Justin screwed up by putting her song in the trailer because she's so aligned. So long after that, she's still involved in the strategy. So the notion that I don't have a dog in the fight, I just walked in, I saw Justin, I said, "Oh, I think your movie's great," and I heard it is, and No. Nope.
It doesn't.
Please,
I don't.
There's something to be said, though, that in the text messages, Blake told Taylor and, just thrust upon her, hey, by the way, you're going to be coming over. This doofy director may or may not be here, unclear.
Yeah.
But can you please say that you like my version better? You saw my
That
movie.
is an ambush.
I just read the whole
Yeah,
thing.
but that is an ambush.
She said, hopefully he'll be there. Hopefully he'll be there means if he's there, here's what I need you to do. And she says, I'll do anything for you.
On her way
Bringing that
over.
on her way is an ambush, and you do feel like caught off guard. And of course, Taylor's just a good friend, so she's like,
That's
yeah,
not the way
okay,
it was-
whatever you need.
No, but
Not
I'm
the way,
saying
not
the
the way it
text-
was put to us.
Yeah.
The way it was put to us is she walked in and boom, there's Justin
Exactly,
Baldoni.
and the text afterwards kind of show that, the way that Blake was kind of like powwowing with her, being like, oh my gosh, I was telling Ryan all about it. You did such a good job. You're such a good friend.
Because she's trying to pat her on the back.
For sure, there's an argument.
But not at any point did Taylor say, I'm going to do this for you. Here's what I'm going to say. It's all Blake telling Taylor what to do, and she's just kind of being a
Why
good
is
friend
Taylor
going along.
talking about strategy?
She's just talking about the trailer, and it's a dumb strategy of Justin to use the Taylor Swift song in the trailer.
Why is she invested in it?
Strategy
on
she's
it.
talking about is not what you're thinking, Harvey. Here's the thing. When Taylor and Blake were best friends, Blake is telling Taylor, this guy sexually harassed me.
Yes.
And if I'm a good friend, which of course Taylor was and is, she's telling her friend, okay, screw that guy and his tiny violin. Terrible strategy
Which,
because
by the way, she
she's
called him a bitch.
She is team Blake because she thinks that this guy is sexually harassing
Well, hold
her
on,
best
and
friend.
and listen, you may be right, and that may be at the heart of this, that Taylor really is angry because Blake said that Justin was sexually harassing her.
Yes.
And you may be right, and that may be what is motivating her. But the bottom line is, the way that is manifesting itself is that Taylor then gets deeply involved in the conflict over the script.
Not deeply involved.
Yeah, I don't
Deeply.
No way.
To a
She's
point,
commenting about the trailer.
hold on,
She's just
to a
responding.
point- To a point when
She's
December.
just responding. You don't see Taylor
Yes.
Sony.
voluntarily asking her about it. It's always Blake and her responding.
And Blake made that very clear because later, like in December, she was writing a text message to Taylor, like apologizing, being like, "Hey, I feel like we're like falling like apart."
That was before
It
the
was
meeting.
December 4th.
No, that was
It was
December
4th, before
2024.
the Eras tour.
Yes.
So yes, December 2024.
So like Blake already knew she overstepped the boundary with
Totally.
Taylor,
This
and
is-
Taylor was like, "You're just using like we a lot. Like you say it like 18 times like in this like conversation, and I just want our friendship to go back to being like fun and light." And she was like, "I understand that you're feeling attacked. I've been in the same position as you." But she was like, it's just like basically like a lot.
But Taylor said she had no involvement. Her
So-
going to the house.
Well, she
this
did.
is-
That's
but
exactly
just
what you're talking
responding
about,
to
that
someone
exchange.
is not involved.
Yes.
It's just
So
She
that
wrote a whole
exchange-
song about a tiny violin that is
So hold on,
literally
we're going to get to the tiny violin now because in December of 2024, so this is now, the film is done. There's already war between Justin and Blake, and in fact, Blake is talking to Taylor about the fact there's a New York Times article that's about to come out that's all about this.
Yes.
So 2 weeks before that, Taylor texts Blake and says, I think this bitch knows something is coming because he's gotten out his tiny violin.
I love
Which
it.
is referring to the fact that Justin Baldoni
Listen, she was a good friend to Blake, and there's no question. And you may be right that what's at the bottom of it may be sexual harassment. Maybe Taylor really doesn't care that much about the movie, but she's acting like she does. And
She's being a supportive friend.
I get it, but
that's not being involved,
guys,
that's just responding and
being
being
a supportive friend, showing up. According to Blake, the download is you were awesome. It was like she really was a dragon at that meeting.
Talking about lenses.
Right, and that's the other thing. Hold on. Why was Taylor, or at least Taylor's camp, so upset about that Khaleesi text when the text that came out where Blake referred to herself as Khaleesi and Taylor and Ryan were her dragons? Why was she so offended by that?
Because she kind of was the dragon.
She was a dragon for her.
I feel like when
She was a dragon for her.
when she saw the message from Blake being like, "Oh, you were so great. I was telling Ryan all about." Taylor's reading that and she's rolling her eyes like, "Okay, girl."
Look, let's just get real for a second. And I know everybody loves Taylor Swift, and I get it. And I think she's great too. I really do. But this is BS. This is BS.
How is it BS?
She was the way this was conveyed to us was she was stunned that Justin Baldoni is there. All she said was, "I hear the movie's great." I absolutely took no side.
She was on
She
the way
clearly
over
took sides. She was actively
Of course she's
involved.
going to take sides with her friend. Of course she's going to support her friend.
But
So
Her
just
people
own that.
said she did.
So
just
own
own
that.
it. Own it. Say
Why-
it.
so why
You're
are they-
saying it
why are
now.
they not friends
why,
now?
Why didn't they say it then? Why were they
you're
so
exhausting.
insistent on saying,
and
oh, well, I
why-
wasn't
hold on.
involved
She
in
was
it?
just
Why,
being a supportive
according
friend.
to-
It's like, don't make me the center stone around this. Like, this is like your
Totally.
thing. I'm gonna be your friend. I'm gonna support you. But
Well,
like,
now the text
don't
messages
use
are
me.
out.
Don't you think if all this was her being involved, wouldn't she stand on it? Taylor
Yes.
always stands on it. So,
What-
why are they not friends now? Because she feels like she was roped in by
Yes.
Blake to be a part of this when she was just trying to be like a good supportive friend and didn't want to be
Maybe
like
true. And
spearheading.
maybe,
Taylor has been in the
maybe
same
you're
situation.
right. But she got sucked into it. Whether it was Blake using her or not, she did get sucked into it. And the point I'm
But
making.
being sucked in versus being the head of this and conniving and, you know,
She was
coming up
conniving.
with all the
She
stuff.
was
Wow.
conniving.
How
She was
conniving?
conniving and as a good friend.
She was at least co-conniving.
She was co-conniving. She
I
was
mean, she said, I
You
think
guys are
this
saying
bitch
she
knows
had
something.
strategy.
Yeah.
You're talking about that she had strategy. I don't think so.
Was Taylor involved?
She was
Yeah.
being
Ish.
Clearly.
Was
Ish.
she
Ish.
involved?
Ish. We
Why?
should come up with a song called Ish.
We
Ish is the best you're gonna get. You got Ish.
That's the best we
Okay.
can get.
Hi, my name is Emma. My handle is at Emma KETC. I'm calling from Arizona. And my opinion is that these text messages made me love Taylor Swift even more. And I feel like women don't get to the top without working there anyways.
Wait, Emma, why did it make you love Taylor more?
It validated my opinion of her that she is an extremely loyal friend and that she's a girl's girl.
So why is Taylor not friends with Blake now?
My opinion is that she's still friends with her. According to the song Cancelled, it seems to me that she is still in support of Blake Lively.
I actually agree with you. After seeing these text messages and listening to that song that you're talking about, Cancelled, I listened to it after I saw these text messages. I think you're right.
I would have thought you were right until about an hour ago, based on a phone call that I got. Taylor Swift is not Team Blake Lively.
Well, not publicly.
Not privately.
Coming up.
Timothy Busfield's immediate fortunes changed very quickly once he was in court.
Timothy Busfield was being held without bail because prosecutors said he posed a danger to the community. It has now gone from you're being held without bail to we're releasing you with no bail.
Be right back.
Well, Timothy Busfield's immediate fortunes changed very quickly once he was in court. You know that he had been held in jail in Albuquerque ever since he was arrested. He turned himself in last week to face charges that the allegations are that he inappropriately touched two young boys on the set of The Cleaning Lady, which he was directing.
So Timothy Busfield was being held without bail because prosecutors said he posed a danger to the community given what he allegedly had done. The reversal of fortune here is stunning. It has now gone from you're being held without bail to we're releasing you with no bail. That is a huge shift, and it shifted because of the presentation of Timothy Busfield's lawyer and the inability of prosecutors to really address what she raised. That defense lawyer went line by line through the criminal complaint and tried to show that the charges against him and the allegations were bogus.
Right. The defense lawyer actually brought up that audio, which we played for you yesterday, of the two young boys, they were 7 years old, speaking to an investigator and saying in their initial interview, saying that Timothy Busfield never touched their privates, never touched them inappropriately.
And it's significant to note that one of the boys was not just answering a question. He jumped in before the question was even asked if Timothy Busfield had done something to him and said, look, Timothy Busfield never did anything inappropriate with me.
And
so that's going to be significant in the case.
And then during the hearing yesterday, Busfield's attorney called to the stand the director of photography from The Cleaning Lady. And this is what he said about his observations of Timothy's interactions with these two boys.
Is it possible that Mr. Busfield inappropriately touched SL on the set of The Cleaning Lady?
No. Film sets may seem chaotic if you're an outsider, but everything we do is incredibly regimented. At any given time, if the child was on set, there was at minimum of 10 people there on the set with them. We had such a limited amount of time with the children. If they were on the set, we would bring them on and start rolling. We would rehearse with the stand-in, which was an adult, and then we would just bring them in and have them do the part. So they a lot of times they wouldn't even be there for rehearsals.
So, look, this does not mean that, that Timothy Busfield is going to be found not guilty. But it is a clear warning sign that there are weaknesses in the prosecutor's case.
I think it goes beyond that. I'm stunned, given this, that he was charged, because prosecutors had this information before they charged him. In the charging documents themselves, they reference the audio tape.
They were open about it.
They were open about it. And again, we don't know what happened. I'm not saying that he's innocent of the charges. I'm not saying he's guilty. But what I am saying is that given this evidence, I don't see how the prosecution could possibly prove its case. And prosecutors are never supposed to go forward unless they believe they can prove their case. I understand it's a horrific crime that he's charged or accused of. But I just can't imagine going forward with a case with this many holes and weaknesses.
We haven't mentioned the one thing that may be the biggest thing, which is there was an actress on the set who said that she spoke to the mother.
And a crew member heard this conversation also.
Who the mother said, according to them, that if her kids were fired, she would get revenge on Timothy Busfield, and the kids were not brought back for that last season.
Prosecutors knew about that before they filed these charges.
And they even put it in the complaint.
They put it in the complaint.
Now,
I
the
just
other thing
can't
is,
imagine it.
And the other thing is, and this could be relevant as well, that the father was disbarred. He was a lawyer, disbarred for fraud.
Right.
So that may not sit well with the jury.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Walt from Connecticut, Pork Chop Pete on social media, and there is clearly a lot of moving parts to this case. When Timothy Busfield was first arrested and he made that video proclaiming his innocence, that video exuded confidence, and now we know why. I mean, his lawyers must have been salivating at the mouth, knowing that they had those recordings that were going to completely blow up the prosecution's case. And I
will tell you this. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we got that video of Timothy Busfield proclaiming his innocence before he surrendered to police. I have not seen that before, and it felt almost braggadocious at the time that they would put that out. But now, looking back, it was a good strategic move.
To be clear, for the prosecution side, yes, those recordings happened. But then 9 months later, after the boys had been seeing a therapist, they told the therapist that they had been touched.
And then the thing
that's why the prosecution came.
But the thing about the therapist is it goes back to and I don't know, this may all be legit. Yeah. But there is a famous case called McMartin in L.A. where a therapist manipulated kids. So it's not 30 kids. So it's not just the therapist, says that the child said it, so therefore it's true. It may be, it may not be, but we'll probably see in a trial.
Right. 50 Cent practices that old adage. Don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. However, he will make movies about those things. In fact, he's got one coming out called Moses the Black. It does, get into some religious themes, but while promoting the movie, he made it clear that for him personally, this is not something he wants to talk about.
There's two things they tell you to stay away from. They tell you to stay away from religion and stay away from politics, because no matter what you think, someone passionately disagrees with you. All right, and I'll stay away from those things. That's how Kanye And then Nicki says it feels crazy, but it is very accurate.
So I got to say something. That
he's a little.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's kind of making fun, but it's just it doesn't make sense, because the idea of him not immersing himself in controversial things, to me, is it's
from the guy who sounds off about everything on social media.
He weighs in on pop culture issues. When you get. Crime. That's fine, but when you insert yourself in politics, I mean, people hate you forever. I mean, I talk about
Speaking from experience?
Yes, you should see the messages I get. People have no idea about me as a person, but and people that want to kill me. I mean, crazy stuff.
I take both sides sometimes.
I know you do.
So everybody hates me.
Right. But it doesn't pay. Don't you ever ask yourself, why? Is it worth it?
No,
I do. Oh, I do.
Share your opinion. But yes, you're right. That I mean, he is. Look. Besides politics, there are other things that Kanye said that have nothing to do with politics that have gotten him in trouble. But yes, Nicki I get his point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but Nikki is extreme. You know, it's like there are plenty of people who have taken.
It's not that Nikki's extreme.
She's pretty extreme.
Nikki just decided that she's going to publicly state that she's conservative, that she supports MAGA. That's fine.
No,
but the problem with Nikki,
the Don Lemon point. The Don Lemon point. That's
point.
what I'm getting.
But my point is, the reason it's a thing for Nikki is that a lot of her fan base are part of the LGBTQ community. That's why it's a big deal for her, and why a lot of people are shocked.
Yeah, but I just think it's funny that 50 is like, yeah, I avoid the controversial things.
Right.
Look at his social media.
He
All he does
loves
is
the
try to-
controversial stuff.
Hi, I'm Dami, also known as the tightest Nigerian cat on social media. It is never advantageous to talk about politics or religion, especially as a Black entertainer. Kind of makes it seem like he doesn't necessarily disagree with them on their takes. So maybe that's why he doesn't want to comment.
Could be. I mean, we look 50 Cent.
Oh, I don't think
50, here.
50 Cent is not embracing some of the crap Kanye says. No,
No, definitely not.
No.
Coming up.
Kristin Cavallari is addressing the question I think a lot of people ask themselves when they watch celebrities doing like podcasts, or they're on a TV show and they're doing something really sexy, or they reveal something really sexy. What do your kids think about that?
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. So Kristin Cavallari is addressing the question I think a lot of people ask themselves when they watch celebrities doing like podcasts, or they're on a TV show and they're doing something really sexy, or they reveal something really sexy. What do your kids think about that? What do your kids think about that? Well,
Do Kardashians think about that?
Very, very briefly. And then they just keep going. So Kristin, sounds like there's gonna be some changes on her podcast, let's be honest, because her sons are tuning in.
I'm not buying this fully.
So do you find that you censor yourself on your podcast now?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I know.
Do you?
Yeah, I go through phases.
Yeah.
Where sometimes I'm like, okay, I cannot be in the headline world for a minute, and I'll definitely pull back.
Your boys are in middle school.
Yeah.
So how do you handle it now that they can like see these things?
Okay, so this is actually the one thing that made me be like, whoa, I need to watch what I'm saying.
Okay.
They told me recently that like a year ago or something, when I was dating that younger guy, that their friends said they saw, he and I played a drinking game or something on the podcast, and they saw some of the sexual stuff that we were talking about. And I was like, whoa, I can't be saying stuff that's going to affect them and their friends.
Right.
So that made me.
That was like a real eye-opener.
That was a bit of a wake-up call.
Here's why
How is she shocked by this?
Here's why I'm having a little trouble with this, because I love her. I think she's great. But I gotta say, she has kids. She knows she has kids. She knows
Kids
what she's
that
doing.
age.
She knows the game because she's young. So she knows this game. And a lot of celebrities do it. And I get it. And maybe the kids, you know,
But that's what I think you can't be shocked about. You got to know that at some point.
She not only is not shocked, she knows.
Yeah, you can know.
You know if you're
up to a
saying
certain
this, you got
age.
kids, and
Right.
the kids have friends, and the friends are going to say something.
Especially if they're in middle school.
How about
it's
this?
one thing if they're in like grade school,
How
right?
about this? Before she had a podcast, the kids said, "Oh man, your mom is hot," and you know they said that.
Hopefully not, because they were super young then.
They all said it.
I don't think third graders are going.
Okay, maybe not third grade.
Yeah, but I mean, she's my age, so she's probably thinking like, oh, you know, these middle schoolers, they're not listening to podcasts, and they're not listening to her podcast. So she's probably thinking this is just adult listeners.
Oh, so she thinks these are people 50 and over.
Well, why would a what is middle school, like 11?
13,
why would an 11, 12-year-old be listening
Because
to a podcast
your
from
mom
Kristin
is
Cavallari?
famous. Who's the mom? Oh, wow, your mom's really hot. What does she do? Oh, she does this podcast. It's so obvious.
Aren't kids playing video games at home? They're not going and listening. But I will say, I do agree with you guys. Every middle schooler is going to tease, you know, another kid saying like, your mom's hot, bro, your mom's hot. But the kid's not going to want to hear that.
I don't understand why kids are so uncomfortable with that. You say thank you. I mean, I'm serious. It's like, yeah, my mom's hot.
But they have a lot more material with her podcast.
No, it doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
Because you know what they're saying when they say your mom's hot.
What are they really saying? They want to...
Oh, well.
My name is Anthony Duncan, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. So I completely understand what she's saying, but however, it comes to the territory of being a celebrity. I feel like if you're not open to having that conversation, with your kids about what you say, should censor it. But however, you are a celebrity, so, it comes with the territory.
Not only comes with the territory, it's like, look, you look at the Kardashians and, Kim has a sex tape, Paris has a sex tape.
Well, it became an issue for Kim at a point, right? One of their sons discovered that there's a sex tape.
Well, that was a whole Kanye thing with the hard drive and the whole thing.
Right.
Coming up.
This is, I'm sorry to say, very disappointing news. The video that everyone has been waiting to see.
It's like the biggest thing since the Zapruder film.
Or Epstein Files.
Or Epstein Files.
And that would be the Beckham video.
They have the video, and now they're saying, okay, we're going to talk about it. We're going to go all over social media and talk about it, but we're not going to show you.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. This is, I'm sorry to say, very disappointing news. The video that everyone has been waiting to see.
It's like the biggest thing since the Zapruder film.
Or Epstein Files.
Or Epstein Files.
And that would be the Beckham video, the Beckham wedding video, which Brooklyn Beckham referred to and basically said, this humiliation that I suffered on my wedding day is part of the reason why I have no interest in reconciling with my father and mother.
He actually made it sound like this was the core reason. So during the mother-son dance, he says that Victoria got inappropriate with him, that it's unclear. There were some witnesses who said maybe she was grinding. Other people said she was just doing sexy dancing with him, and it made him really uncomfortable. So everybody wants to see what triggered this incredible family feud.
Guess what?
They have the video, and now they're saying, okay, we're going to talk about it. We're going to go all over social media and talk about it, but we're not going to show you.
And with kind of good reason. I think I do understand why, but
you're in for a
I guess
penny.
I would have
You're
said
in for a
yes.
pound.
I would have said why bring it up
right.
if you're not going to show the video.
And we've been asking people close to them for months, like, if this is the case, just show us the video. Give us the video. We'll put it out and people can see for themselves what happened. The people that we've spoken to say if this goes on the internet, Brooklyn is already humiliated and embarrassed enough that this will only make it worse because then it lives on the internet for the rest of his life.
But what is it going to be? It's going to be her. I mean, look, there are two things. One is that she seems like she may be the kind of mother that doesn't want to give her kid away to another woman, that all of a sudden this other woman has replaced
her.
And it's almost like,
she seems like the kind of mother.
Because there is this thing where, the dance is almost like, he's still mine. And it might be a little bit aggressive.
Can I tell you guys something? So I have just spoken to someone who was working the wedding. So they have no bias from either side of the family. They said, to me, it was nothing inappropriate. To say flirty is a little awkward. I would say more theatrical and put the intention to be quirky and maybe get some laughs. Definitely no twerking or butt on him.
That's believable. That's believable.
They said it was more theatrical.
I'm going to make a point. But I would say this. Maybe they saw it as theatrical from Victoria's side, but maybe to Brooklyn, it wasn't great theater. He was uncomfortable.
There's another theory.
Nicola.
No, not Nicola. There's another theory I have, which is maybe it's the exact opposite. That now that he's looked at the video, it's not the way he made it out to be. And he's thinking people are going to look and say, it's no big deal, and then he's going to be embarrassed. And that may be why he doesn't want it released.
But then, if you knew that, why talk about that?
Because in your head, you're thinking of it as, oh, she did this, she did that.
But you have the video there.
I know, but maybe...
Do you think he forgot the video?
I think he got ahead of himself. I think he may have gotten ahead of himself. It's a good theory.
No, it's not.
It's a really good theory.
That means that he forgot what the video looked like.
No, it's a really good theory. I'm telling you, I'm sticking with it.
You froze London. Brooklyn has to drop that video. You cannot tell the whole world that your mother danced very inappropriately on you at your wedding and then not show us the video. It sounds very Game of Thrones. Get cameras in the Beckham household. Wendy Williams, Victoria Beckham, sit down interview. We need answers.
Yeah, but I don't want to sit down. I want to see the video. Do you
or
agree?
better yet, a live reenactment.
Do you agree with me that it's probably not as bad as he's making it out to be, and that's why he doesn't want it released?
It sounds incestuous. That's the first thing that everybody thought. What does inappropriate mean? But that's why he has to drop the video. Why would you want the whole world thinking that your mother has done something that inappropriate with you? I agree with you that maybe he's a bit embarrassed now. It's not that deep.
But I think what Brendan got from the bartender or the waiter or whatever, that's credible, what he just said.
Yeah. I want this story to be a lesson to everyone in here, okay? Everyone pay attention. If you talk trash about your coworkers and there are microphones around, someone's gonna find out. That's what happened on the set of Queer Eye, and people were wondering why they went out to do some promotion. They went on the Today Show, and Karamo was not there.
Can you believe how lousy Charles dresses?
What?
Oh, did I get
See? See? That's what I'm talking about. Karamo was not there, and now we have found out why he wasn't. It was a hot mic situation and somebody talking trash on the set. And by the way, the worst part is Karamo's mom was there.
Yeah, so
you can't do that in front of the guy's mom.
It's pretty crazy because this is the last season of Queer Eye, so they're supposed to be promoting it. He doesn't show up to the Today Show. So during the filming of the 10th season, apparently Karamo had walked away, but his mom was on set and had one of the headsets on.
Yeah.
And 3 of the guys, the original cast members, were talking crap
But said
about
what?
him.
Said what?
Basically talking about his lifestyle choices and different things that he does. Meanwhile, the mom.
I don't know what that even means.
I mean, we're not able to say specifics.
Oh, but you know specifics.
Yeah, we know specifically what was said. But essentially what happened was, obviously the mom relays to him what these guys said about him. And ever since, there's been a huge rift between him and the guys, except one of them. One of the new guys, he's still cool.
They squashed it.
Yeah, well, he wasn't one of the
part
people
of the
that
trash
was
talk.
actually talking crap about him.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, is this, I mean,
Yeah.
you take it from here.
Lesson.
You take
I'm Kristin from Scottsdale, Arizona, and honestly, I think Karamo not showing up is a bigger headline than what the interview probably would have. But I do love his message about, like, you know, loving yourself and not putting yourself in those kinds of toxic situations.
I mean, the good news is it's the last season, right? So it's not like they're gonna have to work together.
That's true.
Yeah. Wait till the last season.
Silver linings.
Coming up.
Chris Pratt has an amazing movie out, Mercy, and he's being tried by AI.
I don't feel like someone's going to replace me that's AI. I don't think you're going to replace the human soul.
When you watch The Terminator, does it have a soul?
Be right back.
Chris Pratt has an amazing movie out.
Yeah, he does. It's a great premise.
I love
Wild.
this. He is a defendant, and he is being and he's being tried by AI. AI is the judge and the jury and even the executioner.
Right.
And as soon as I heard, I thought that is fascinating. Could that actually happen?
So obviously, you got to ask him about the big battle that's going on, the very real battle in Hollywood between actors and AI, filmmakers and AI. Most are against it. Sounds like Chris Pratt is open to some of it, but he says he's not afraid of losing his job.
I don't feel like someone's going to replace me that's AI. You know, I heard this Tilly Norwood thing. I think that's I've never seen her in a movie. I don't know who this bitch is. So, you know, like it's all fake until it's something. I think it's an amazing tool, and in the right hands could really help people to tell stories. And if it helps bring the cost of production down, it's inevitable. And I don't think you're going to replace the human soul. There's a soul-to-soul connection when you're watching a movie. You might not be able to put your finger on what you're digesting the way you can by saying, oh, my eyes are seeing this, my ears are hearing this. Our hearts also connect to material, and we might not fully comprehend that sense, but it's there. And in the absence of a true connection there, it's just not going to feel right. It's not going to feel good. We're going to be missing something. We might not be able to fully articulate what we're missing, but I think it's the human soul. And so I think that's gives me comfort.
I think what he said is really kind of measured and interesting because he's not saying, oh, AI is terrible. I hate AI.
No,
it's going to
he's
people.
open to it has a place.
Here's where I disagree with him. And what he's saying is you'll never get AI to duplicate a human soul. A, I don't know that that's true. But B, even if it is true, look at what the biggest things have been out there over the last 20 years. Animation is so big that people buy into it. I mean, The Lion King, people buy into these stories.
No, but
they believe. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't require to buy into a movie. Doesn't require that you see an actual human being. And I think that if you look at AI as a device,
I think what he's saying is that there's a difference in acting and a human.
I know
acting,
he is.
And the soul of it. It's the same thing I've said. Well, we had this argument about AI in music, and that yes, you can make a good beat, you can make a melody from that AI will create, and some of those songs are out there. There's still something different, at least at this point. And you're right. Maybe that's going to be, when as AI improves.
Yeah, in 5 years.
But right now, I agree with Chris Pratt wholeheartedly.
I don't think a soul is necessarily what people are always going to see.
Of course you don't want that.
Well, I'll tell you why. The Terminator. Does the Terminator have a soul? I'm asking you. Does the Terminator have a... when you watch the Terminator, does it have a soul?
It doesn't, but there is a human actor playing the Terminator,
playing
and that's what
somebody
makes it believable.
Without a soul.
And that's what makes it believable.
But it's playing somebody without a soul.
If Arnold isn't the person who's actually playing the Terminator, it's going to come off as hollow.
A soulless character won the box office that year. A soulless character.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
When you play a soulless character, you play a soulless character that is believable.
You're making Chris Pratt's point.
No, I'm not.
There was a human being playing that soulless character.
Right, but it's not a soulless character with a soul because you're not looking at the soul. You're looking at the soulless.
I don't want you talking to me about soul, man.
I'm not talking music.
Lavo Macker from New York. I don't think AI is ever going to replace women. I feel like for you to be an actress, you have to have a soul and you have to show emotion and everything. And I don't think AI is going to take a place of an actress. And I also agree with Chris in the situation. Yeah, you need emotion and you need everything to be an actress. Yeah.
Well, just wait.
By the way, we should clean up some. What Chris was talking about, he referred to Tilly Norwood. If you're outside of Hollywood, you wouldn't know this, but this Tilly Norwood is an AI actor that's been created.
And he didn't know how to characterize it.
I agree with him completely. If Tilly Norwood were playing the Terminator, it wouldn't be the same. Take that, Tilly.
You're wrong. You're just wrong.
Coming up.
Oversharing. We must be talking about social media. And Alix Earle is definitely going through some things. Because she has social media, that means why keep your thoughts to yourself when you can tell the world?
I feel so lonely.
Be right back.
Oversharing. We must be talking about social media. And Alix Earle is definitely going through some things related to her breakup from NFL player Braxton Berrios. They broke up early December. And then she was spotted cozying up to Tom Brady.
I would even say canoodling a bit.
They both say nothing happened. And maybe she's just smarting over that. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's that.
But because she has social media, that means why keep your thoughts to yourself when you can tell the world?
I feel like the weirdest thing with my breakup and just going through being alone is just being alone. Obviously I have friends, family, whatever, but I feel like just not having that stability of a male partner or just even someone to talk to or distract me is just so weird. I don't know why. I think I've just always had boyfriends. I was a boyfriend hopper. And I said this year I'm gonna be dedicated to being okay with being alone. But I don't know why I can't do it. It just makes life feel so lonely, but it's not, and I'm not lonely.
Wow. No, she's got to go through this.
Well, this is why people love Alix Earle. This is why she has millions of followers. It's why she just got her own reality show on Netflix, because she's real, she's vulnerable, she's raw, and people have always related to her through kind of being, oversharing on the internet.
It is
So,
really
I'm proud of
oversharing.
her.
But oversharing now gets you a show.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. Oversharing gets
so
you
is
a
it really
show.
oversharing if it gets you a job?
I don't
It's
think it
just
is.
being
Like a
real.
well-paying job?
Now it's just sharing.
Now it's just sharing,
Yeah.
right? It's smart sharing, actually.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm from Long Island, New York. I understand where Alix Earle is coming from. I also used to go from relationship to relationship, and it is hard to be alone at first, but once you get truly comfortable with being alone, there is nothing better. Once she sees how peaceful it can be to be single, I think that she's going to love it, and I really hope that she gets to that point.
Okay, I got to ask you a question because
get a dog.
my thing is I love eating alone at restaurants. I love it. How about you?
I like going to the movies by myself. I don't really eat alone, though, but the movies, yeah.
Oh, it's so much fun because you can look around the room and you see who's having problems.
Again, you're only getting joy because you're seeing other people having problems.
Yeah. What else do you guys want to talk about?
Hi, my name's Marika and I am from the UK. I am here to talk about, well, the Taylor Swift text being leaked. And if I'm going to be honest, in hindsight, right, as a female, I know that I have said worse about men. In my group chats with the girls, I know I have said worse. I just feel like she's getting the backlash and the scrutiny because she's such a big figure in the public.
Except she was part of the team.
Right.
I mean...
That's the part of it. I know what you're saying. Yes, I get that she wasn't the worst things she said. It's just that it shows an involvement that she had denied.
Right. One more.
Hey, I'm Amy from Gadsden, Alabama, and my topic is Timothy Busfield. So many people are wrongfully accused of sexual crimes, and it's all based on lies that either stem from hurt feelings or assumptions, and therefore they are. Okay, I just lost it.
No, it's okay. We kind of get your point.
Yeah,
But based on assumptions. The thing about this is, especially people on the outside, it's like everybody wants to judge immediately. Like, guilty,
that's our
not
society,
guilty.
right.
That's our society. And from, covering all this stuff, you never know just based on a complaint.
Day one, you
or
never
a
know.
denial.
Day two, you never know.
Yeah. It takes a long time to really figure it out.
Coming up.
David Harbour and Lily Allen have called it quits.
They're done.
There is one thing left, which is selling the house. It is loud.
It's interesting.
And interesting. It was now this is the picture.
Carpeted bathroom.
Who gets out of a tub onto a
carpeted
carpet?
bathroom.
Onto a carpet.
Be right back.
David Harbour and Lily Allen have called it quits.
They're done.
There is one thing left, which is selling the house, and their house is now in contract. It's escrow, ready to go for $7.3 million. This is it. It is loud.
Interesting.
It is loud.
It's interesting.
And interesting. It was now this is the picture.
It feels...
Charles, just look at this picture.
Yeah.
With a bathtub, a chair, and a fireplace.
Right.
What is that room? What is that room?
The bathtub says to me it's a bathroom.
Where's the sink?
I think
Where's the sink?
I believe you call it a salon.
Where?
There's a vanity right there.
Okay.
Right across.
Okay.
But a carpeted bathroom.
Who gets out of a tub onto a
carpeted
carpet?
bathroom.
Onto
And
a carpet.
Having a carpeted bathroom is a choice. A poor one.
$7.3 million.
All right, throw in another mill to redo the bathroom and you're good.
See you tomorrow.